Hey guys, Chance Casey here with the Chance Casey Real Estate Group, and today I'm here to talk about some questions that you actually should be asking your listing agent before you actually list your home. These are important topics to understand what type of representation you're actually going to get provided or what type of service you're going to be rendered throughout the transaction. So let's dive into it real quick. Question number one is you should always ask your agent, is this a full-time position for you? Part-time agents, not to talk down on them at all, and there's some fantastic part-time agents or ones that used to do it full-time and now do it part-time, so I'm not bagging on them, but typically they're not working 100% of the time for you, whether they're working at another job or maybe they just do this as a side hobby or something like that. If you're going to pay somebody, they should be working 100% of the time for you, and I just feel very strongly about that. So how many homes did you personally sell last year? This is a very important topic to ask and kind of understand where that agent's experience lies. For us, we typically sell about 30 homes or more on any given year. I did take a little bit of time off last year for COVID, but this year we're already on track or projected to close more than 30 homes, if not more than 40. So typically you want to ask that question because the agent can be in a position where, maybe they just joined a team that closes 150 homes a year, but they personally haven't closed any themselves. And that's going to take its toll during the negotiations, during the paperwork stages of and also they just don't have a clientele or a pipeline built up. So that can actually make it take a little bit longer to sell your house if they don't have buyers already lined up and stuff like that. So how close to asking price do they typically get? What's important about asking this topic is, or having this conversation is, does that agent sit across from sellers and just tell them what they want to hear, or do they tell them the actual price that the home is going to sell for? There's a lot of agents out there that'll take listings and they have a 95% or a 96% average sold price. So they're selling the home for 5% less than they actually originally listed for. This is just time and money out of your pocket because there is no sense of urgency with the buyers to actually purchase that home. And you're sitting on the market for 60, 90, 120, maybe even a year, which isn't as common in this market, but there's still agents that are doing that where they're just telling the seller, hey, we'll sell it for a ridiculous amount, and they don't get that price. And then the seller ends up taking longer to sell than they wanted to. And that really hurts people if they're trying to get to some place or, trying to do something within their personal life. They have a life event going on or something. So marketing systems. So what do we do for marketing? I mean, we pretty much hit every channel. We have a listing presentation. It can take an hour or it can take 10 minutes. It just depends on how much you want to go over. But we pretty much do everything as far as internet leads. I think 30% of our business is internet leads right now. Facebook advertising, print, digital media. We do flyering, so canvassing neighborhoods, door knocking, open houses, kind of a lot of the typical stuff that you'd probably see a realtor do, but we just encompass all of it to make sure that our homes are selling for the highest price possible. You definitely don't want to work with an agent where their only thing that they're going to do is post it into the MLS and just kind of forget about it. It just doesn't help sell the home and really get you the money back that you're actually putting into it to get the highest price possible. Another topic is, are you going to represent me solely, or are you going to represent both the buyer and me? It's a great topic to ask to see what type of conversation arises from it. Typically when I'm having that conversation with my sellers, I let them know, hey, you guys do want me working just as hard for you to find you guys the buyer as those buyers agents out there. And quite frankly, you probably want me working harder because if I represent both sides of the transaction, it's going to get done a lot better than if we have a buyer's agent on the other side that's on their second deal or something like that. Maybe they bring us a great, well-qualified buyer, but maybe they didn't work with the best lender, which we just had happen in a recent one of our transactions. Or maybe they just don't have the experience to get it done how they should, or handle the client's, emotions, the buyers and stuff like that when it comes to inspections and appraisal and stuff like that, to make sure that they're actually getting that to the closing table. So we sell about 18% of all homes here at my home group as of last quarter is what we did in the multiple listing service. So about almost 1 in 5 homes sold through my home group. So there's a 1 in 5 chance that we're going to be representing the buyer as well as the seller in the state of Arizona. The next question is, can you provide preferred vendors or contractors? Yes, we have a list of about 150 vendors. Anything that you can think of, from getting estimates for the Binzer repairs, general contractors, plumbing, AC, electrical, handymen, painters, stagers, you name it, we've got it. And we have it on a Google sheet, which we share with our clients so that they have access to it, so that they're working with people that we've kind of already vetted. And if you have a preferred vendor that you love working with, I'd love to hear about it, because we'll vet them as well. And if we like them and things end up working out well, we'll go ahead and put them on that list. Another one is, what type of brokerage support does your brokerage actually offer? So I kind of mentioned earlier, our brokerage is huge, my home group. We've got about 2,600 agents. We have a Facebook page where we post all of our coming soon. Hey, I've got a buyer that's looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in Gilbert or Chandler, or Goodyear or Buckeye or whatever. And people will actually respond to us and say, hey, I have a seller that's actually looking to sell right in that price range or whatever. So that helps us a lot, as well as some of the other tools that the brokerage provides. But I've been in business long enough that we almost operate almost 100% with our own support. Like, I almost have everything that I need just for my own brokerage, but the brokerage in itself is like a legal entity that we sit under. So you also want to have a topic or a conversation about mission, visions, and values. If the realtor that you're working with doesn't have a mission, vision, and value statement, which is pretty typical for most companies, they may not be an established realtor. This kind of goes back to that part-time versus full-time, but this is more of just have they thought about their business, what type of values they want to have, who they're going to align with. And you kind of want to make sure that at the end of the day that you actually align with the values that that person is going to be representing, because they're representing you. So you want to make sure that that type of relationship is going to work out the way that it needs to. Recent client testimonials. So one thing I've heard is you could ask me for my last 3 people that I've worked with's phone number. I'm happy to call them and ask them if they're willing to provide their information to you to kind of do like a reference check in that instance, kind of like you'd be doing at a job interview. I'm happy to do that. Most of my clients are okay with it. I've done this before. However, we have a lot of testimonials personally on like Zillow and Trulia, so that's a great place to look for realtors' information, just to see what people are saying about them. We haven't gotten a bad review to date, but yeah, I mean, you can go and take a look at realtors and see what people say about the lending services or realtor services on Zillow, Google, and stuff like that. So, other than that, just let me know if you guys have any questions for me about what we do to help people buy and sell homes. My phone number is 602-525-5502. Look forward to talking with you guys again soon.